This is a Beneteau Oceanis 30.1, and I think that Beneteau have done a brilliant job with giving this 30-footer a really big yacht vibe. So I'm going to take you on board and I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean. We'll start right at the back here. You've got this little drop-down bathing platform, which is a nice touch because it just extends the boat when you're at anchor and swimming, or closes away, of course, when you're not using it. And this one, as you can see, has the wheel steering. That's actually an option. You can have this with tiller steering if you prefer. But wheel steering, I suspect, is going to be a popular option on this one. These little fellas here, incidentally, are for emergency tillers, so if you ever had a problem with the mechanism, you'd still be able to steer the boat. What they've done, in fact, since we're right back at this end, is they put these wheels right at the very back end of the boat, almost at the transom. And that means that when you've got guests on board, the helmsman or helmswoman can be here, controlling the boat, chat to everybody, but not be sort of climbing over people and clambering around the place. Even the winches have been moved right back. So again, you're not having to sort of go, oh, excuse me, and get your winches and this sort of thing. It can all be done from here. And in fact, they've even brought the side decks all the way back. So again, you want to go forward, you don't have to climb over people, you just step up onto the side decks and you head forward. And this is what we find further up the boat. So this has got slab reefing as standard, and it's got a roller furling genoa again as standard. So that's how these come. And one thing I have noticed, which I think is a great idea, I'm not sure if I can show you, it depends how well these are locked up. Oh yes, I can undo that and undo that. Flush hatches. I think that's a really nice idea. Just saves you stubbing your toe on them. Let's do that back up. And we come right up to the foredeck. And you've got your anchor winch here, and your anchor chain locker is down in here with the remote control for the winch, and the anchor itself is hanging off the side of the bowsprit there. So that is very neat, and that's the rolling furling system that we mentioned. And a big tall mast. In fact, while we're looking up, we should talk about what's underneath the boat, because you can have this with a deep keel or a shoal keel, but actually there's a lifting keel option as well, so plenty of options there depending on how you want to use the boat and where you're using it. Let's head right on back down this side. Again, you can see what I mean about the way that this brings you right round the cockpit and then in. That's great. Now this table will lift up so that if you are at anchor, you can lift it up on both sides. It makes for a great dining area around here. And also there is in here a really big deck locker, so all of your normal detritus, your fenders and your ropes and maybe some inflatable paddle boards and whatever else you like to keep on the boat. Probably can get a couple of folding bikes in there, I'd imagine. It's a really big locker, so that's a nice feature. And also a very big spray hood on this one as well, so it's a well protected area. Let's head on through it and we'll go and take a look inside. What they've done with this is they've actually put a really light wood finish into here. It's oak, I think it's white oak they call it, and it just makes it really super bright. Also, as you can see, we've got windows in the hull as well as in the coach roof, so it's throwing loads of light into here. And it means that when you're sat down here, you can sit here like this and you've got a view out. I think that's brilliant. Table, of course, lifts up. This one has got bottle storage underneath it. If you had the lifting keel version, all the mechanism for that would be inside there. So you're not actually really any worse off in terms of the interior of the boat. It's very similar. And then on this side, well, this is a chart area. You just push that and that drops down like so. You might say, well, where do your legs go? Well, actually, this is just an infill. We put it in for the minute so you can see how that can make into a berth, or just give you extra seating. But if you're using a chart area, of course, you take that cushioned there out and then sit facing it just there. And all your switch gear and your VHF radio and your stereo and all that kind of stuff, that's all right next to you. Now we'll head on forward. I'm told, and I can well believe, that this is one of the largest forward cabins you'll find in a 30-foot yacht. And I think that's fair, because it's pretty big. Really good sized bed in there. Some nice lighting, you can see it actually on my hand. It's just down, concealed underneath there. And you've got a hatch up above, of course. These have ocean air blinds, that's a mosquito net. Or you can put it the other way, and you've got a night blind. So that's neat. And it's got these double doors on, so they don't take up too much space when they're open. Impressive though, isn't it? Let's go and take a look further back. The heads is over on this side. Again, it's a decent size for a 30-foot boat. And nicely lit. And you've got storage tucked around here. That's a shower that will pull out and clip into there. So you can use that as a shower if you wish to. It's a good little area. Opposite that is the galley. You've got a gimbaled cooker, a nice little sink, and then underneath here, if I move this out of the way, there we go, without breaking anything. Massive fridge, top loading of course, so that when you're heeled over and you open it, nothing falls out. It's a really good size. That's storage in there. And then of course in places like this and down underneath here. Gimbaled cooker, that's locked in place at the minute. And then the second cabin is back here. Again, for a 30-foot boat, it's a pretty decent size. You've got an opening window there for a bit of ventilation and storage in places like this. As I say, it's a 30-foot boat, but it's easy to forget it's a 30-foot boat. That's very impressive. And then finally, while we're in here, we should have a look at the engine. That lives underneath here. It's a 21 horsepower Yanmar diesel. So that sits down underneath there. So easy to get at, to check your oil, for example, or the water top up is there. And the filter, again, easy to reach. Also, you're not supposed to use that very much if you're a proper sailor, but it's a decent size, so if you just need to get home and the wind's in the wrong direction, fire out the old donkey, it'll do a good job. Look how they've engineered that. Every time I open it, I think it's going to hit it. Of course it doesn't. Fantastic. Let's head back out into the cockpit. And I think I'm going to finish up just here and say thank you very much to Ancaster for organising that one. They're dealers for these in the UK, and thank you to you guys as ever for watching. We look forward very much to catching you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye. This is a Beneteau. Start again. This is a